school was a big chocolate donut so I could eat it.
I see a warm, welcoming place where when the children arrive, they're happy to be there. They want to learn. They want to see their friends. They want to reach out to their teachers. Imagine the joy of learning, to get up in the morning and be excited about going to school.
Well, I would imagine that first day would be full of excitement.
I'm picturing the first day of school. I'm picturing students coming in, extremely proud.
I saw lots of lights and colors and walls and places, different areas where students can sit and socialize and read. And I saw a big library and lots of air.
I think our school pride would definitely be a lot better, and the eagerness to learn and experience and see for the first time the students in those facilities, I think would be really awesome.
I see smiles. I see smiles on students' faces as they're coming through the door and they're excited to go to class.
Do you know what imagination is? Can you tell me what it is?
It's where you think of something that might happen.
Buildings that were built in the 50s oftentimes had very compressed floor-to-floor heights. And what's evidenced here in the cafeteria is that with those reduced ceiling heights create some real challenges relative to how do we retrofit those shells of those buildings with new technology and new infrastructure for heating, cooling, ventilation, sprinkler piping, things like that.
Teaching today is entirely different to teaching when I started teaching in 1973. And I think the facilities have to respond to that.
All of us are constantly chasing technology. It's constantly changing. And in our facility now, we would like to add new things, new technology to our building. However, the way that the building is built, whether it be the cinder block or the drop-down ceiling, running wires, it becomes very, very difficult to do.
I think of technology being the centerpiece of education today, but not just technology that children are using and learning how to use, but rather allowing the students to leverage technology to become better learners and for students to develop a richer experience, combining that with the ability for those students to share those experiences collaboratively and be able to share their experiences with each other, I think is a real departure from the education that maybe I experienced and what we've seen in the past.
The window air conditioners that have been installed throughout the high school are really a residential solution applied to an institutional environment because of budget constraints. In terms of the units that we have, they're all relatively small given the footprint size of the classrooms.
It's hard for kids to stay on task, focus and concentrate for 86 minutes when it's this hot. Especially kids who have IEPs and special needs. It can reach up to near 100 degrees with 2 air conditioners and 4 ceiling fans running at the same time.
I teach with the windows open quite a bit, and we have problems with wasps and bees coming in, and so then I have to say, well, is anyone allergic in here? And the kids are terrific. It's not like they scream and jump and stand on top of the desks. We conduct class with these wasps and things flying around our heads, and but it's not ideal. So yes, you can fix, but I think it's going to be kind of like Band-Aids over and over again. And I think we've already been doing that, and I think this is a time where we need to do more than that. Yeah.
Even though the doors are locked on the outside during the day when school is in session, the administration offices are far too remote from this entryway. So once someone is buzzed into this door, they have free reign throughout the corridor system. ADA laws were written in 1991. All our structures were built far prior to that date. ADA has certain criteria in terms of how you approach like a restroom door, for instance, and how much room a person in a wheelchair needs to the left or right of the door on the pull side and the push side. Because of the block masonry in our buildings and the narrowness of all those entryways, that applies to almost all our classrooms as well as our restrooms. So to modify all those entrances are going to require hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of work collectively. As you approach a door, this door swings out, and you take the door, you actually have to take a few steps back to open the door. What that does is that poses challenges for people that have accessibility means or problems, whether they're in a wheelchair, walker, some type of assistance. What the ADA requires is that this wall needs to be pushed back on a pull side, typically 18 inches. So there's at least 18 inches of distance from the wall to the door. So as you open the door, you don't have to back up. You can actually move to the side and allow the door swing to occur. So a relatively simple issue, but we've got this about 60 or 70 times in various spots in our buildings, and it's a costly challenge to rectify.
When the school was opened in, I believe, 1973, it was opened with the idea of an open concept school, which meant there were no barriers, no partitions in the school, which looks great when you walk into the school. But the one problem was when the students came into the school, you had a lot of noise.
Personally, I don't have an opinion what the solution is. I don't. But I know I need more space. Last year I had a bigger classroom, but this year we had such high enrollment that we needed another kindergarten teacher, so I got back into this room. This is my old room, and for 1 year I had a big, large classroom, and it made all the difference. I felt like I was a better teacher. I felt like the student learned more, and I have assessment results to prove that the students learn more. Our janitors do so much to give us more space, to put up shelves, but you come to a point when there just is no other solution than more space. How that's going to look like, I don't know that. That's up to the taxpayers to figure out, but I do know I need more space.
Just as of last year, we were able to put in this door.
I am the first room right off of the office, and before that there was no door, but I still feel that there's a safety concern here because we're the first classroom in the building, and actually if you stand outside of the entryway, you can see straight into my classroom as I teach. You can see that there are kids in there learning, and someone could be counting, doing whatever they needed to do, and it's not a joking matter, but we probably would be the first classroom that would have some type of intruder or invasion.
When you think of an image of this school right now, what are the iconic areas? Football field, the gymnasium. Most of our assembly areas are specifically focused around athletics.
I see a common area where all students are meeting as a school community, talking, sharing ideas, sharing what they did over the weekend.
What a common area does is it brings focus of identity to something that's beyond athletics. It can enter into the more academic role of what a school really is. And that's where we found that sense of place, that sense of community so important in public structures like this.
I see students in the gyms practicing, not just the freshmen, but all different levels. I see people walking on the track.
Having a theater at the high school would enable more people to attend the programs that we have, the high school plays, the concerts. So we're looking at an auditorium that's for everybody, not just for the students, but for the town as well. The high school becomes a hub of the community because you have a place where everybody can get together.
I think the Galena schools, the way they are now, isn't a good representation of Galena. Galena's been going through a lot of changes, expanding and modernization, and the schools, I think, could follow that pattern.
I envision a school where my children can come to a state-of-the-art facility and be prepared to succeed in a global economy, a challenging global economy.
I see excitement. I see individual space for children to learn. I see walls.
My students love coming to my classroom because I'm their only cultural connection. I'm the one that speaks Spanish. I'm the one that always understands them. They love being wherever I'm at, but they learn more when they're in the larger space, when we can utilize the instruments that we have at school, when I can move around and be a better teacher, when they can move around and not sit crammed.
But you can only kick the can so far down the road until at some point in time you got to pick it up. And I guess it's a question from a community standpoint, do they want to keep kicking the can down the road, or they want to pick it up and make something that could really be a positive contribution to the community?
I think we should value planning versus reacting. You know, I see this community as reacting to the need when the need arises and not having a plan for the long term.
You put the quality of life aspects we have at Galena, couple it with an educational experience that's, you know, better than everyone else, and you have the recipe for economic development. Home purchases, business investment.
Oftentimes when we hear something's going to happen, right away we put up that shield. No, I don't. And I do that myself. I'll do that myself. I say, no, because I'm always saying, oh, look at the money, look at the money. And I think we're just apprehensive about change. We know change is good, but it's very comfortable when nobody comes in and rattles the boat.
Wow, I see a lot.
You sound like you're gonna cry.
No, I'm sweating. My gosh. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I just wish people would open up their hearts and listen. Listen. And don't be so judgmental. you know, it's not about us. I know you're taping me right now. It's not about us. It is about these kids. Like I said earlier, they deserve more. They deserve better. Our community's kids, our parents' kids deserve better. The end.